Leviticus. God calls us to holiness. When most people hear the word Leviticus, they think of rules, rituals, and sacrifices. But at its heart, Leviticus is not about religion, it's about relationship. It shows us a God who loves his people so much that he wants to live among them. And it teaches his children how to live in his holy presence. Exodus ends with the glory of the Lord filling the tabernacle. God is now dwelling with his people, right in the middle of their camp. But that raises a big question. How can a sinful, broken people live close to a holy God? That's where Leviticus comes in, God's promise of his presence. Leviticus begins by laying out the system of sacrifices: burnt offerings, grain offerings, peace offerings, sin offerings, and guilt offerings. Each one was a way for Israel to draw near to God. These sacrifices weren't about empty ritual. They were a gift of mercy. Through them, God provided forgiveness and fellowship, showing that he desires closeness with his people. All of these offerings point forward to Jesus Christ, the perfect Lamb who gave his life once and for all, so we can live in God's presence every day. God's call to holiness. A central verse in Leviticus says, "Be holy, because I, the Lord your God, am holy." Leviticus 19:2. Holiness doesn't just mean being sinless. It means being set apart, belonging to God, reflecting his character, and living differently from the world. Leviticus covers everything from worship practices to dietary laws to how Israel should treat their neighbors. God cared about every part of life because every part of life mattered to him. Holiness wasn't just about what happened in the tabernacle. It was about daily living, family, work, relationships, and justice. God's provision for atonement. The Day of Atonement Yom Kippur stands at the very center of Leviticus. Once a year, the high priest would enter the most holy place to offer sacrifice for the sins of the nation. One goat was sacrificed, and another, called the scapegoat, carried the sins of the people into the wilderness. This powerful image points directly to Jesus, who not only died for our sins, but also removed them far from us. Through him, we have constant access to God without fear or shame. Leviticus might feel distant at first glance, but its message is deeply relevant today. God still calls us to holiness, not a life of perfection, but a life set apart for him. Just as he cared about every detail of Israel's life, he cares about every detail of ours. Nothing is too small or too messy for him. The sacrifices remind us that sin is serious, but also that God provides forgiveness. In Jesus, we no longer need rituals. He is our perfect sacrifice, and his Spirit dwells within us. Leviticus reminds us that our faith is not just about Sunday worship. It's about daily living. It's about loving God and loving others in every moment. The book of Leviticus teaches us this truth. God's presence makes us holy, and his holiness shapes how we live. Because of Jesus, we are forgiven, set apart, and invited to walk with him every single day.